My story begins in 1997. I was living in New York and suffering from depression. After completing the academic year as a high school French teacher, I moved to North Carolina at the request of my college friend, who was also looking for a fresh start in life. We were mid-20s and looking for the perfect American life, whatever that means. I started working several teaching jobs, one of them at the Wake Tech Community College. That's where I met my future husband and his brothers, a group of well-mannered North African students speaking what I thought to be French language. It was in fact Algerian dialect, a mix of French, Arabic, and Berber languages. My future husband started to come early for his classes and taught me about Islam, but I didn't show him that I was interested. In fact, I thought I would just research Islam by myself. My search began with the Haraam. Why did Islam have so many prohibitions? I read about alcohol from library books, not Islamic books. I decided alcohol would no longer be a part of my life, but I was not Muslim. Then I researched pork from the library books I could find. Wow, I never realized how bad pork was for human consumption. I stopped eating pork, but I was not Muslim. Then, using interest, same thing. I cut up all my credit cards, but I was not Muslim. Eventually, I was curious enough to actually read about Islam. So I would ask Muslims random questions, and I started to read the Quran. It was a powerful book, and yet it gave me a lot to think about. It was like the author was addressing me personally. I couldn't sleep at night. I had to know who had written this book. I was living a secret life. Nobody knew that I was researching all this. Not my family, not my roommate, not even my future husband. I was bursting inside. After about 6 months, I could no longer live this way. I had read everything I could about Islam. I had started to pray and fast a few days. But the one problem I had was the hijab. The reason I liked Islam so much and had left the Catholic Church was the hypocrisy. If I could not fully practice this new religion, then it would be almost like being a Catholic. It was all or nothing. So I told myself I had to try out the hijab. I could wear it and somehow announce myself. Then I would convert. But if I could not wear the hijab, I would leave this secret life and forget all about this new religion. My mind was made up. So I started to wear simple hijab clothing, and people at my various places of work soon knew me as a Muslim. After about a week, my roommate found me in my hijab. She saw the various changes in my lifestyle. No more clubs or alcohol. No more shopping sprees or vacations. No more bikini or beach trips. No more hot dogs. I told her that I was Muslim, and she told me to leave the apartment. It was my first real test. One Friday night in May of 1998, I drove to the mosque, found a group of ladies inside, and asked them to help me to accept Islam. It was an emotional night that I will never forget. I found a whole new family, ready to accept me and support me as a Muslim. I found all kinds of people from every walk of life. Eventually, my future husband realized what was going on. He proposed to me soon after my Shahada, but I was so afraid. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to confuse myself. I didn't want to confuse myself. Taking Shahada was a huge blessing. Was I ready for the blessing of marriage too? I thought about it, and we got engaged in June. I got married in July and left the country in August, alone. This time, I was on a new mission to teach in Dubai. learn about Islam, and pay off my student loans from college. I was able to meet some of these objectives, and by the time I had returned to North Carolina the next summer, I felt like a real Muslim of my own right, having fasted Ramadan and learned a bit of Arabic. I wasn't a newlywed anymore, but still new to married life. That's when my third blessing happened. I was newly pregnant and became a mother. We've embarked on a new set of objectives, now where my husband will stay with our oldest child, ensuring that they can start university here and pursue a career. I'll remain in Mecca with the other 5 kids, where they can continue their Arabic and Quran studies. This explains the how of how I accepted Islam. Indeed, only Allah knows why He chose me and why He allowed me to live and work in the holiest of cities. I am nobody special, nor do I claim to have any hidden agendas as to why we were chosen to stay in Saudi Arabia. All I can say is that our destiny is written, and our time in the world is so very short. Why did I love Islam so much? It was because I felt I could always find the solution for any and every problem in life. Faith tends to come in waves for me. Just when I think I have learned so much, I get a test from Allah which teaches me that I have a lot left to learn.